in this module, I cover 6 keys to academic success with integrity. Pay attention because these are critical for the international student who's experiencing a lot of new things coming to an American university. These aren't just keys for being a student with integrity, but just overall being a very successful student while you're here. So now I have 6 keys for your success here at UC Irvine, and I'm going to go over each of them. The first one is find what I'm calling a cultural guide, someone who can help you figure out this place. Not just UC Irvine, but America. I'm from Canada, and I still had culture shock. Culture shock, you know what that is? They've told you about that? When I came to San Diego. And people said, oh, but you're from Canada, you're no different than us. Biggest insult you can say to a Canadian, by the way. Tell them they're not different than Americans. Don't do it if you meet a Canadian. It's different here. Things are done differently. You've got to figure it out. You need someone to help you figure it out. You need to check your assumptions. Don't always just go by, well, I assume that, this is what I do when I go to different cities, right? I assume that if everybody else is crossing the street, even though the light is red, that I can too. And then the cop pulls up and gives me a ticket for what we call jaywalking, right? So you have to check your assumptions, otherwise, you could get in trouble. You need a cultural guide to answer your questions. You need someone to help you translate the weird things that they do here in Southern California. Depending on where you're from, you might not understand certain things like surfing. I'm from Canada. I don't understand surfing. I don't understand half of the things surfers say when they talk. So you might need someone to help translate for you. Someone to act as a sounding board. Do you know what a sounding board is? It's someone you can bounce, you can say ideas to. It's like, can we talk? I have this situation, and I'm thinking about doing A, B, or C. What do you think? And then you say, ooh, well, A could, you might want to not do A because of this. So it's someone who you can, we call it bounce your ideas off of. That's an English saying, bounce. Share my ideas with you, you give me feedback, maybe I'll talk to you too, I'll talk to a couple people, right? And they can help me kind of figure things out. So you need someone to help you with that. The international office is international center is a great place for that. They've got so many great student volunteers and staff, so they can help. Just go to them and say, help, I don't understand what's going on right now. Rethink your definition of success. There's so much pressure on our University of California students. Sometimes it's from yourself, a lot of times it's from their parents. Big expectations. And we get caught up in that, and again, we think that the A grade is our reason for being here, or the degree is the reason for being here. You could have gotten a degree from anywhere, right? You didn't come here for a degree. That could have been, you could have got that from anybody. You could have gone online and bought one, actually. It's illegal. I mean, it's not good. But you could have. So you're not just here to get a degree. Your purpose, I hope, is to learn, is to grow as an individual, to maybe work on your English. Keep in mind your long-term goals. Again, most of the time I see students make mistakes because they're thinking in the moment. This is what we do as human beings. We think in the short term and we forget to keep the long term. My ultimate goal is this, and so I need to do this to get here. And I can tell you that getting an A grade all the time is not necessary. Understand expectations. I'm going to say this again, read the syllabi. And if the professor's not clear or they don't say something you need to know, ask clarifying questions. You can also go up to a professor or a teaching assistant and say, hey, in my country, we are allowed to X. We are allowed to use sources without citing them. Am I allowed to do that here, or is there a different practice? So explain because a lot of professors have no idea the differences that you're having to get used to. They just assume everybody, they might just assume everybody knows what to do, and that's not true.